Welcome back to Coin Sense and Nonsense. Today, it's 4th of July, and I've been inspired by seeing so many great 4th of July tributes. So, decided to do my own. And to briefly explain, whenever I think of 4th of July, I always think of 1976. It was a great year to be a kid, and it was so patriotic back then just to be around. There was all kinds of cool things going on. So let's look at 1976. So I realize these are 86 and not 76, but they do fit the theme here, so these are cool. Then we got silver. So this is a very cool set. This is a special one just for 76, and they came and had little display deals, but I'll just leave them inside the package. And so these are just the silver coins from the set. Very nice. So that's one other version of celebrating 76. And then there was this one. This was another little display deal of silver. These are silver proofs. And of course, they're the same nifty reverse, but very cool to have them in silver, both proof and BU, or not BU, but mint set. I guess BU. And then this thing, I didn't pay 14 something, but this is cool little silver Ike, and a little certificate here for 1976. And these aren't silver, but this was kind of a throwaway deal. I paid face value for this, so it was worth it. This thing, it's kind of juiced up there, but what are you gonna do? But it's the 13 colonies, and they're stamped. It's a little hokey, but for 13 cents, couldn't pass it up. And then this deal here, this is just a little patriotic thing, nothing to do with 1976, but I like the imagery for 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Nice. So these things kind of tarnish up or aren't really great for preserving coins, and they don't put the best coins in there, but when you can get a deal on things, why not? So it was a kind of a cool thing to be a kid in 76. I happened to be a coin collector way back then, and so I have my little price guide from back then. But in doing this video, I thought about some other things that I had from 1976 that I'm going to share with you, so we'll be back. Alright, and actually this Statue of Liberty deal I got at Statue of Liberty when I was a kid. A little field trip in Scouts or something. But here's something interesting. I used to get the first day covers and whatnot. So here's one for the bicentennial, and I still have all the paperwork and the cool little booklet here, the Bicentennial Day of Freedom, and it's in pristine condition. I don't think I ever even read it. I was more interested in dun, 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 this. And so my parents were very cool to be able to get this for me. Back then I was not old enough to be buying things, but unfortunately, this little case did it in. It kind of caused some of the ink to run, and it's kind of ruined the first day cover, I think, so boo-hoo. It's still cool to have, but unfortunately it didn't stand the test of time. Sometimes these folios weren't archival or designed for long-term storage, and as a kid didn't think of things like that and kind of forgot we even had this. So, but it was a cool thing to find in my little collection, and I did find some other cool things. So I did collect first day covers, and so this one's not from 1976, but it fits the theme, and I thought that was cool. And I do have more. So, and here's the more. I found my album, my stamp album. So it was a good time to be a kid back in the 70s, collecting and whatnot. And let's just trip down memory lane here. Sorry if people are bored and really wanted coins, but I thought this was kind of cool. So in 75, they started ramping up the push towards celebrating the bicentennial and all that. So obviously a lot was going on with the Revolutionary War and all that in 1775. Things just didn't magically happen in 1776. So those are cool, but the real action is going to be coming up here in 76. There's some cool bicentennial. So the first day cover thing that I showed is this one actually, and it's like a 4 stamp series. I didn't quite fill that in and didn't have Benjamin. I didn't have this in the book, but you might see that section later. These are all revolutionary state flags. So yeah, it's a real shame I don't have them in here. Whoa! I do have the special sheets though. So these were really cool. So these are the individual stamps, however they're in special souvenir sheets. So because I didn't have them back here didn't mean I didn't have the stamps. So, and so there was a whole set of these, and so these are in nice show guard mounts and whatnot, so at least these stayed protected nice. And very cool. So I thought it was cool to show these off for 4th of July. Valley Forge. So yeah, didn't see these too much on postage back then, but you didn't need 31 cents because these were for the larger packages. Postage back then was 13 cents, so way back. So I thought that was kind of cool to show. There were some other bicentennial whatnot this back then. Kind of cool. This isn't 76, but just wanted to show you that even for stamps they had like mint set envelopes or whatever, so that's cool. But I had all the different pages for my books, and inside these little envelopes I would keep the spare pages, like for the and in between the pages sometimes I would put stamps, and so those are kind of cool. But there we go. So those are the Spirit of 76. Oh, and remember when I didn't have the flags in the book? It's because I have a whole shit of them. So these are very cool. So these are all the state flags from the bicentennial, or all the state flags, I guess, for, to commemorate the bicentennial. Obviously these weren't states when the Declaration was signed. Not 1976, but these were cool also. These I don't know, get everybody going with the thought of celebrating in 1976. These were in 73, so even 3 years ahead we were doing patriotic things, and I made you feel good about being an American and all that. I don't think we've got that nowadays. That's too bad. Also not 1976, but I thought we might like to see this here. This is cool. This was the centennial of gold being discovered in California. And one other last one of interest here, banking and commerce. So the imagery on there is pretty cool. So realize it's not 4th of July-ish, but it's still cool. Alright, well, thanks for tripping down patriotic lane with me there. Sorry we diverged into stamps. Hopefully you guys liked a little something different. So, back to coins next time. And until next time, coin sense and nonsense. Bye-bye. Oh, happy 4th of July.